Yes, YouTube, how are we doing? It's Ben Hawksworth at The Coach Consultant, and today I'm going to be talking about fucking backing yourself. I truly believe, and truly believe, and have seen also, that half of the battle when it comes to business is actually just backing yourself continuously. Backing yourself when it's good, backing yourself when it's bad, backing yourself when it's ugly. And in essence, I feel like sometimes people don't really have that understanding, awareness, and expectation of the fact that this is an ongoing process. This is not just about getting off the ground in the first place, because when you do start a business or you're looking to start a venture, for example, you've got to get over that kind of fear and hurdle of, oh, what if it doesn't work? But also when you're actually in your journey, and I wrote this on a whiteboard, which I'm going to show you in a second, throughout your journey, you're going to have multiple different points where your business is going to challenge you, your life's going to challenge you, what you're doing is going to challenge you, how you're doing it is going to challenge you. And what people kind of commonly forget is that this is a never-ending process. Backing yourself is exactly the same when you're doing £0 to £500 per month and £1 million to £5 million per month, right? The actual thought process and the decision making and the perspective you look at it is pretty much identical no matter what level you're at. And what I feel like at the moment is a lot of people are getting defeated early doors, because we're in the day and age now of business where there's so much short-term gratification, and that's probably due to people within my sector and also the space in general, where it's like earn your first 10k in the next 2.5 weeks, how to get 100 grand a month in 12 weeks. Do you know what I mean? You've got all these statements and these guarantees and these offers that are presenting almost like an unrealistic expectation of what actual fucking business is like. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the main emphasis and main element that you always need to be focusing on with your business is just backing your decisions, backing for yourself when things aren't great, backing yourself when things are going good, backing yourself when you are thinking about taking risks. Because in essence, guys, like this is a bit of a stereotypical process of what business actually looks like. Sorry about the lights, by the way. Hopefully you can see that one there. But basically, in essence, what you've got here on the first point is you've got this red zone, this red line. God, these lights are annoying. There we go. So we've got this kind of red zone, which is this red line. And imagine that you're basically here at this starting point. And the first thing that you've got to do is you've got to basically come through and think about how do you actually overcome this fear of it not working out as an initial starting point. And within that process, you're going to have multiple different moments where you've just got to turn around and go, right, I'm going to back myself. I'm going to see this through. But what people think is the moment that they cross that red line, and let's just say, for example, you started to get maybe £1,000 a month, £2,000 a month, £5,000 a month, and you're going onto the blue line, that's 10k a month, and the green line's like 20 to 30k a month. The same process applies throughout this whole fucking process. So there's no differentiation. The mindset that you had to take to actually get off the ground in the first place is the same decision-making process and mindset that gets you from 2k a month to 10k a month, because it just comes down to backing yourself. It comes down to backing yourself with putting out different forms of content, different forms of lead magnets, messaging people, not being bothered about being left on red, looking to close bigger sales, looking to upgrade your program, looking to evolve what you're doing. There's so many different evolutions that you're going to go through in your business to get from, let's just say, I'll write it so I can see it, won't be able to see it otherwise. But you've got 5k, you've got 10k, and then let's just say, for example, we've got 30k a month, right? There's absolutely no difference between all of these when it comes to backing yourself. The only difference is if you do it or not, right? And the thing is, you can have confidence, you can have assurance, and you can work with someone like me and someone like what we do, which is going to give you strategy, systems, and SOPs and everything that you need to scale. But bottom line, the decision always comes back down to you just backing yourself to actually fucking do it, right? You can't remain doing the exact same thing in the exact same way within business, right? What we're looking at here is a slow, gradual increase where someone has had to overcome multiple points of self-beliefs, of risk reversals, of transitions, of evolutions, in order to evolve to get to that point of earning upwards of 30 to 40 to 50 to 100 grand a month, right? But all of these, yes, it's down to a strategy, it's down to a system, it's down to an SOP. But it's down to you backing yourself to actually fucking do it. It's down to you backing yourself to actually release that strategy. It's down to you backing yourself to try a new system. It's down to you backing yourself to build out the SOPs that you need. It's down to you backing yourself with the actual skills that you've actually got, or the skills you don't have, to then acquire and then use. All of this comes back down on you. It's like, I'm a massive believer that, look, I will give everything. I will give someone anything they ever need in terms of support, attention to detail, care, step-by-step processes, everything. I will give everything I have to someone to help them see success. But the decision always comes back down to you. The decision always comes back down to, am I willing to actually back myself through the fact that this may not work, right? Business is literally, in essence, a massive game of risk reversal, right? Every single thing that you do in business is a risk, always. Every piece of content that you put out is a test. So how I explain this to my one-to-one clients, and I'm like, look, I want to get into a situation where we're openly available to try new things, and if those new things don't work, that's fucking fine. I'm not bothered about it, right? But it's the mindset of someone getting to the point of going, actually, I'm willing to try something new. Actually, I'm willing to learn from someone else. Actually, I'm willing to try a different way of doing that. Every single email you send out needs to be tested because you're going to review the metrics on it. Every single post that you put out, you're going to test it because you're going to review the analytics. Every single sales call you do, every single outbound message, every single thing that you do has to be tracked because it's all a test, right? That's all key performance indicators are, is we are tracking what is working and what isn't. Every single thing that you do in business is always going to have an element of a risk. It's always going to have an element of this might not fucking work. Whereas when I look at this graph again, it's the red circles on here. So when you've got them, they're the points where something might not work. And what happens is when it doesn't work sometimes, that's the drop-off point. So what I've seen before is people obviously try something new and it doesn't work. So then they just drop off and then they just revert back to doing the same shit as what they were. And because they've reverted back to doing the same shit as what they were, it means they're in the same situation that they was before, right? You need to get into a mindset of falling forwards. So for example, when I'm looking at this kind of graph here, all these red circles need to be is you don't drop down, you just fall forwards, right? You fall forwards, you fall forwards. And this is all business progression is. You are taking calculated risks by getting the right type of advice, and you are trying new things to see what works and see what doesn't. But regardless of the actual outcome of that decision and what happens in terms of the result, you still take steps forwards, you still fall forwards, because all of those little circles there that I read, that's great because that shows you a way of not doing it. So it eventually gets to a point of you going, 3 things have not gone right, but 1 thing went really, really well. Min. Right, now we're going to move on to the next few things. Right, that didn't work as well as what we thought, but then we got to this green circle and it went really, really well, so we bumped up again from that point. And then exactly the same when it comes to there, right? Again, this makes no difference. This is this exact same process of what happens in multi-million pound companies. Every single thing that you do is always a risk because the market changes, marketing changes, acquisition evolves, people get a lot more awareness and understanding for that you are selling to them. People are more sophisticated with social media and content now because there's so much volume of content that's posted out there. You need to put a lot more effort into your design, your hooks, your styles and your structures. But every single thing is always it's always a risk, right? But I need you to back yourself. That's what I want. That's what I want is no matter whether it's a good outcome, a bad outcome, somewhere in between, I want you to back yourself to just keep trying new things. Whether it works or whether it doesn't, just get over that and back yourself, because it's the backing yourself which is going to create the momentum, what allows you to not only just work through these obstacles, but just plow through them. And no matter what, because you have backed yourself so much and you're so confident with yourself and what you're wanting to achieve, you have accepted failure as an actual positive in terms of something that you can learn from. And it's the element of you backing yourself what takes you from that bottom point to that top point. That is fundamentally business in 8.5 minutes, right? It is a sequential problem solving risk reversal process of continuously taking risks to see what works and what doesn't, right? If it works, double down on it. If it doesn't work, don't do it again and try something else. But it's that point what I see the biggest drop off in fitness professionals and entrepreneurs is when something doesn't work, that's when they drop off. I don't care if you have one of the most catastrophic big mistakes where something's not gone wrong or something's not worked. Don't let it dishearten you. Go past it. Just swipe it off. Right, sweet, that weren't great. That weren't a great period. That just really didn't work for us. Don't matter though, because I'm going to still keep moving forward because I backed myself. Right, that's all I want from you to take from this video today, guys, is half of the battle, not even half of the battle, 90% of the battle in business comes back down to the director and the founder and the owner of the company, which is you guys watching this video, backing yourself no matter what fucking happens, no matter what situation it is, good, bad, ugly, opinions from someone else, a complaint, a disagreement, or whatever it may be. fundamentally, this comes back down to you guys. So, and again, half of this process is making sure that you are making calculated risks, so risk reversal. So that comes down to making sure you're actually getting the right advice within your business. So again, if you've not seen my Instagram, click onto my Instagram. You can see all the results that we've got, all the testimonials, hundreds of people, incredible people. And if you're in a position now where you do want to start taking risks, you do want to start trying new things, then please feel free to reach out at any point, guys. If not, hit the video link in my bio.